everyone, and welcome. This is Karen Newman. This is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 31st, Halloween 2020 of this spectacular year that we're having so far. And I'd like to welcome our very special guest, Jim Charles. How you doing, Jim?
Boo. Yes, I'm doing good. Doing very good.
Very good. So Jim just was telling us before we went live that he's feeling some really like extra energies, and we're having a full moon, and it's All Hallows Eve, so maybe we're in for some spectacular new beings that we've never spoken with before. What do you
Don't
think?
know, but it's possible.
Don't know what is possible. We'll find out after the prayers and when we get into it. Okay, but before we do that, why don't we start with Angie? She's got some announcements.
Hi, welcome everybody. We have scheduled the channeling class. It is Sunday, November 22nd, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it is $123. Learn channeling as easy as 1, 2, 3. Email classes at hucolo.org, and I will get the information out, and it'll be a great time.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll start with some blessings. We'll start with Dawn. Go ahead, Dawn.
Thank you, Karen. Was antare rakur nyaur tararandur shikar ai kuto she o yata ar or katatu yanani ala ushina haisik o is anda fu Norwegian tia.
There's a great cloud rising from your world, and we must bring it into the light. Let us now pray that all things become very positive, beautiful, and of God. Take care and bring yourself into that light as well.
Thank you. Barbara, go ahead, Barbara.
Shatatatiana kotoko shiata kasi, kiatataniana dotoko iata kisi, kisipiata kananata kishitiasho, koroto ya patanana tekiata katoko atia patati, kiata toko shuatia konoto, tia patatia toto.
This is a time for everyone to take heed of what you really believe, what you really think, and what you really desire. Hold that into your heart and make it true every day. Be a light. Shine yourself across every avenue, every person, and every thought process. It is important to rise up now.
Temple, go ahead, Temple.
Putia sukuputia tania laka, pushutatia sukunotia, pushaka watatia sututatia, kikiana tata kulupatia sukutana unia sotopasha, shishisha sosana haka, I utu tata, ipo lu ujukatia naniato, mamiato tiasa. Namaste.
Be not fooled. There is not one among you that knows the real truth, for the side of darkness hides its face from you. But enlighten yourself with God, for he will keep you from harm and keep you out of harm's way. Love and be guided by him and him alone, and cast away the darkness that seeks to harm you.
Okay, Kathy, go ahead.
Sarashi atoje matokoro shisani taro ashoti paro makoro ushu alarwa saru shado makoro tokosha elaradosh matovitaho ashari shoko matoshuane esorodosa imanadosi yateri taka la koripash sorosutavi tashia imanodo janiporo doko atosi amaroshi aro.
Keep your eyes on God and do not let the events of the world confuse you. There is much about to happen and much happening already, but you must be fully guided by the light, for it will be easy to slip and fall, because there will be many who want to turn you into a believer for their own causes and a believer against what you really are moving toward.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to read the requests and we can sort of take it from there. We have Anubis and a Dream Lord, Leonis, or the Galactic Federation of Light. Let's see, the Blue Avians, Enoch, Elijah, Sandufan, the Archangel, and that was it.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. One moment, please. Have a good session, everyone. Much love to you all. And be in prayer for all that is to happen today, because I feel so much energy today. So much energy.
Cool. All right. And just before we start, Don will be monitoring the YouTube chat. And so taking questions from there, and then we'll do our chat from in here. So go ahead.
What were you going to say?
So some of the entities that are here are available, or they resonate with some of you that have already signed up for the channeling class, and some of them are going to be channeling by you. So it's interesting. It's really interesting energy here.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to do a little meditation. I'll be back in a second with someone who wants to talk to you. All right.
Great.
Greetings. I am Elijah.
Welcome, Elijah.
Thank you. There is something that has been on my heart for this week. It has been brought up several times, and I have resonated with it greatly within the last few days. It's been something that the angels have been saying. It's been something that I assumed that everyone was aware of, but I am now learning that you need this information. My talk this morning is going to be on the missions of the people. Missions. And what I want to say about missions is this: forget them for the moment. Many of you are out here thinking grand and elusive thoughts about your mission, and you're ignoring yourself, how you are developing, how you are feeling, the world around you. You must first, before any elusive mission happens, be prepared for it. Let me tell you how missions work. You prepare yourself. You pray. You become aware of God. You become aware of the gifts that are opened within you, if any. Some of you are still going, I have no gifts. I have nothing. I'm just here moving forward. But you must be praying and meditating and doing the work now of the future. It is not that, boing, the future is going to drop a mission on you. That's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's rare. 1 in a million. But prepare your hearts and minds with meditation and prayer. Prepare your soul and your understanding with all of God's thought processes, his compassion, his unconditional love, his truth, his honesty, his evidence that he is within you. Because some of you are saying, I am with God, but your example is saying, get the heck out of my way. I'm important. I'm going to do a job. And that's not the path to a mission. You must include everyone in your pathway, in your mission, with your example. You must exude God. You must exude the Spirit. And it's difficult. Every single person has problems with this because there are third dimensional energies working against you to make you doubt, make you fear, make you question, make you full of anger at times. These are part of the negativity that works in the world. And we don't want to really talk about that because it is what it is. And you know what it is. You know what it is. If you don't know what it is, then you have not been in contact with the Spirit. If you are in contact with God, with positive spirituality, with the energy of the Spirit, then you know what I'm talking about. Because it will affect your spirit up and down. But let me tell you, as you grow with the Spirit, as you become more and more spiritual, opportunities will open up for you. More gifts will open up for you. More joy will open up for you. As you are moving forward, your example becomes greater and more purified. Of course, you can't have that every moment, but as much as you can, keep God with you in your mind, soul, body, and spirit, so that He is your example of truth, love, and kindness. If you're walking into a building, and I know that you are wearing masks these days, so they can't see your smile, but you can open a door. You can say something nice. You can say something kind. You can always be that positive energy that they may need. Because how many times has it been that a kind word changes your day? A kind action becomes something that you think about later in the day and say, you know, that was really nice. I really needed that because it was something, there is something about today that really wasn't working for me. But now it's helpful that I have a little bit of trust in mankind once again. But mark my words, as you move forward and grow in spirit, in thought, and in values, then the opportunity that God wants you to have will show up. The opportunities come a little by little. Of course, you have goals and you set them. But don't set them so far out that you can't get to them. Set closer goals so that you know that you are moving forward. Some people cannot even tell if they're moving forward or not because they have no successes or they don't feel like they're having any successes. Set a few small goals, but look at yourself and see and know how you've been with everyone in the world, the people around you, the things that you are doing. And yes, you will be able to judge yourself. Don't want you to judge other people, but judge yourself in some way. And even judge is the wrong word for that. Yes. So evaluate yourself and know that you are moving forward. Because even though sometimes you hit a plateau and move across it, you're still moving forward. Is it not that you can walk across a plane, but you're still getting closer to your location, to your destiny? It does happen. And then all of a sudden you'll start to rise again. Many have experienced that. So do not worry about that. That just means a time of introspection, a time of moving forward in a different way. But many of you are also experiencing things opening within you. Things that are different. Understandings that may be a little strange to you. Do not worry about that. God is working within you. God is working to bring you forward. God is there. But forget about these great and magnificent missions if you're not even aware of how you feel and who you are. Because they are far away until you are close to God. When you are closer to God, then these things will open up to you. Of course, you have to work. Of course, you have to plan. Of course, you have to do things to prepare for your missions. But the biggest thing to prepare for is yourself. Many are not prepared within themselves, and they wonder why nothing's happening. They wonder why things seem drab. It will happen that way sometimes, that even those that are seeking God may have some drab time, but you know in yourself how prepared you are. Take a look, grow, expand. There's another part of this, and that is awakened. Many of you think that you are awakened. You may be awakened. You may be awakened to the things of the stars, the aliens, and know things that other people don't know about third dimensional and fourth dimensional things. But are you really awakened to the spirit? That's a different awakening that you need to experience. You can be a third dimensional awakened person to science, to the thoughts that are there above you. That is one kind of an awakening, that the earth is moving forward, that things are doing better, that there are aliens and things of that nature. But in a very true sense, a spiritual awakening is very different. A spiritual awakening will open your eyes, your heart, your soul, your mind to something else. Seek that, because that's where the power is. That's where the future is. Without that awakening, there is little hope. I hate to say that, but that is the awakening that's necessary. That is the awakening that God can use. That is the awakening that brings things forward, that changes the future. And my children, the future does need changed. You are the answer to the future. The question is, how is the future going to be? You are that answer. You will make that difference. You are the light that moves into the future. I don't know how to make it any more clear. But I thank you for your development. I thank you for your understanding. And I thank you for allowing me to speak. Sometimes I think I go a little long, but I think I am clear in what I say. Much love to you all. And may you all be blessed. And may God be with you.
Elijah, would you be able to stay for questions? I don't want to, unless you really want to go.
Is there a question?
Yes, we have several, if it's okay.
I will allow it.
Okay. Veritas has a question. Veritas, did you want to ask or do you want me to ask? Veritas. Veritas, can you ask, or I'm asking him to unmute. It doesn't seem to be working. I'll ask the question. He says, can you please explain what the ringing is in our ears? Where's it coming from?
Well, there is a disease on earth called tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears. Have your doctor look at that. There are other things from AI and from different aliens also being sent to humans to distract them from prayer and meditation and things, but those are more rare, and they must hold that beam on you for a while, and it does not sound like ringing. It sounds like mechanical. It has a mechanical sound. It's not the same as ringing in the ears.
Okay. Thank you so much. There's a question from Kathy. Go ahead, Kathy.
Hi, Elijah. Thank you for speaking with us.
Greetings.
My question is in regards to what you were talking about. So I have a lot of people that come for healing, whether it be Reiki or through channeling messages or whatever, and they don't understand why they're not better after they leave, like instantly. And I try to explain that there's a more of a holistic way of healing when you're working with energy. Can you give suggestions on how people can heal themselves with the energies today, and what's the best advice I would give them for the approach to heal themselves?
Well, the thing is, you can help heal them a little better if you involve them in the healing at the time that you're giving the healing. They must be concentrating on their own healing at that time and bringing their energy also into that healing reference. Many of them are not thinking about that, thinking this is not going to work, thinking blah, 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 whatever. Also, so bringing them into alignment with your healing thought process will help. But the other thing is their belief systems are causing things not to work as well. They're going, they're thinking about going to the store or doing other things. They're not believing that this is actually something very, very serious. Now, in another line of thought, everybody has healing in their hands to a certain extent. I mean, some of it is weak, some of it is stronger. It goes by person. But there is healing in everyone's hand. And if they put it on themselves and actually believe that that energy is going to work for them, it will. And they may say, I don't believe that I have any energy, but they do. It's all a matter of belief. It's all a matter of wanting. How badly do you want this healing? How badly do you believe? How much do you believe in God? So it's a matter of several different things. It's not just, I went and tried to get a healing and I didn't get it. It's a matter of, am I involved in that healing? Do I want that healing? How do I know that I'm getting a healing? They have to believe. They have to participate. They have to know that God is with them and that you are with God. And that because your energy is being blocked by some of their negative thoughts, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so you must clear that up at the very beginning. Make sure that they are comfortable. Make sure that they have everything they need. You are a wonderful example, but they need a belief boost. You need to tell them, you have to be involved in this. Okay. Put your belief system with me. My belief system, your belief system, make it stronger. So It may not take it away completely, and that it's not designed to do that. Just like a pill is not designed to take away an illness the first time you take it. Sometimes it just works on the symptoms, and it's the beginning of the healing. It's getting the body ready to be healed, especially if it's something serious. So tell them this is getting your body ready. The first thing that any healing energy does is put them in a relaxed frame of mind so that healing can start to happen.
Yes.
So there's many, many things. I wish I could talk to your people, but I can't. But there are many things that come in alignment with healing, and their belief is a part of it.
Yes. I thank you.
You're welcome.
All wonderful information. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. That helps also with psychic readings of expectation of what people expect.
Absolutely.
That they don't, I actually had a reading today where I basically said the same thing. I said, your life is basically good, but if you want to change something, it's going to take decisive action and for you to really shake it up. And the person wasn't quite so happy. I said, well, you create your life. So how do you expect anything to be different if you don't change it in some way? Yeah.
To be a good example, you must give them the truth.
Yes.
And therefore, sometimes the truth is difficult.
Yeah.
And it's like going into the doctor and he wants to give you a shot. It's going to make you better, but it's difficult because they're afraid of needles. So sometimes you have to go through the difficult part to get to the part that's good. And that's not saying that everything's going to be that hard, but it is saying life is what it is, and you need to accept it for what it is. You do not accept miracles without doing any preparation at all. But sometimes they happen, even though you don't prepare.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Kat has a question. Go ahead, Kat.
Hello. Hello, Elijah.
Greetings.
I have seen yesterday an interview on Fox News, and they were interviewing a historian, and they were saying that since '84 he has rightly predicted the outcome of every election result. So now this guy is coming yesterday, and he says the Biden is going to win according to his algorithm. He said the Biden is going to win the election, and I find it very crazy. And I want to see what's your take on that.
I am not a politician, and I do not delve into politics. That would be a very bad thing for me to start to do, since I'm not even part of your culture. The thing is, there are many predictions.
But
Let me tell you that there are predictions for Biden, there are predictions for Trump. There are many predictions, and the race is too close to tell. You will only know on probably the second day after the elections are being held, because none of the polls that are being taken are correct. Not completely.
So what's your intuition about that?
I do not make intuitions about elections.
Well, you have to have a voice talking inside you saying something.
I do not have to have a voice about the elections. That is not where I'm at. I'm a spiritual leader. I am not here to push a political party.
Yeah, I'm not either a politician or whatsoever. I was just asking because I found it very, very...
I do not want to say anything about that because it's not appropriate for me to do so. I am not part of your world. Who am I from outside of your world to give you that kind of advice? I can give spiritual advice because outside of your world is the spiritual advice, and that is part of what I am doing. But I do not want to neb in your politics. You must vote your heart, you must vote your conscience, and you must vote about the information that you have collected. And that's another thing. Many people have not collected any information. They just hear what they hear and go with it. So it will happen the way it
I
happened.
agree. I agree with you. Yeah. Now, what's your estimation on the human awakening since, let's say, the last 7 years? What's the rate of people awakening, even socially awakening, or even spiritually awakening?
It's slowly happening, but much more must happen before you have an actual awakening. There are underground movements that are now coming to light, as you would call it, but for the most of the populace, they are still asleep, and there are many things coming that will wake them up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is that it? I will go.
Yes.
So sorry, sorry. Sheer had a question. I'm so sorry. I
Oh.
thought I was muted. Sheer has a question.
Hello, Elijah. How are you?
I am well.
I think I have a question that is right in your alley, as they say. Each night I have a very long prayer about all the things that I want to do, to have, giving thanks and sending healing. And I have decided that, first of all, I feel really great after I'm doing all of that. And I'm doing it for some time now, for several months. And I've decided to do something similar in the morning, a different prayer. And I was wondering if you can give me some advices, like what should I be focused on the prayer, what intention I should put on that morning prayer.
I would say this. Pray first that the Spirit of God be upon you while you're praying, that He is with you and listening to everything and is within you as you do the prayer. Because if you are excited about your prayers, if you are giving that joy and love to God that He deserves in your prayers will be answered much more quickly. You're going, what? And I'd say, yes, because the Spirit of God on you and in you will help you to understand who He is, because that joy, that feeling, that knowing of God is a wonderful thing. Now, many people don't feel God at all. That's fine. He is there. He is all around. They need to find awareness of God around them, and then they can start bringing that into their lives. But what I say is this: if you know God, bring Him in the most excited, loving, and beautiful way, and then no matter what you pray, He will be listening, with fully listening. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're getting me all excited and revved up, Elijah. Thank you for your energy today.
Yes, you're welcome.
Aglia has a question, or Galea has a question. This is the last one for Elijah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I actually have 2 questions, if I may. One is, I have been trying to connect the Hucolo family with the I Am activity of Saint Germain, because I've been following Saint Germain for the past 10, 12 years. And I wanted to find out, and I do have a meditation group that goes on, and we meet frequently. So we applied loss of life. So I wanted to make sure that I'm not doing anything against the law of life, because we're not supposed to be connecting with the spirit from, let's say, the fourth or discarnate entities and so on and so forth. But I understand connecting with the angelic and with the ascended masters and so on.
Yes, of course.
So help me understand, or give me the bridge that I need, if I may.
Right. First of all, Saint Germain is the violet flame, is the one that brought forth the idea of the violet flame, which is God in in one persona and one personality, one thought process, just like the holy fire is God, just like many other names for God have existed. So yes, call on that name. Now, when you are intending to bring in nothing but the true God, the true example, the true perspective that you're working with of God, then you will be able to use that purely and not worry about all these other things that are going to happen, because oh, of course they're going to try to come in and infiltrate and stop what you're trying to do, but you will recognize the power of God and a negative entity trying to work with you. So bring in that power of God, bring in that violet flame, bring in holy fire, bring in God, bring in your version of the Spirit. Everyone will see the Spirit differently, my friend. Everyone will see the Spirit of God differently. Why? Because they have learned to see the Spirit of God differently. They have been taught to see the Spirit of God differently. Some of them have been taught not to see the Spirit of God at all, or feel it or know it in any way. So you have to keep that in mind. So not everyone will be of like mind when it comes to seeing or knowing the Spirit. They will sometimes have different reactions. That's all right. Let God work with each individual as God will work with each individual. What you are just interested in is that you are doing the right thing, and that is fine. Every one of you has the ability to bring in your version of God, and he is not saying that that's wrong, but he will purify you as you believe truly in him. He purifies your thoughts about who he is, if you are in your right mind, of course. But he is a purifier. He is an uplifter. He is one that will be with you at all times. Believe it.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And my other question was, I was intending to connect with Jakar from the human colonies, and
Yes.
he was in consciousness quite a bit a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to know what was the progress, if I may.
Well, first of all, Jakar is a female.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. But the connection there is to try to connect with humanity in a way that will uplift them, give them a little bit of an advance on some of their gifts, try to train them a little bit more on how to use what God has given them. Okay. And this group of individuals, the Gurkviknir Alliance, work with people in the colonies. Now, some say that's very good. Some say, I don't remember it, whatever. Their intentions are good. It's not always spiritually motivated in some ways. It's more get the gifts there, but you have to know that those gifts are attached to the Spirit as well. So they are mentioning the Spirit in that evolution, in that involvement. But they're not having church or anything like that. But they are involving humanity in their version of how to wake humanity up and get them going and make them successful. Did that answer your question?
I think so. I think so.
If I misinterpreted that question, please refresh me.
Okay. At what extent did I connect with Jakar?
Oh, you did connect. There's no question. Okay. I get the sense that there was a connection there. I think that you need to believe that that connection was real also.
Okay.
And that you are growing, you are expanding, you are going to be amazing. You have to know that within yourself and build your confidence with it. And as you proceed, you will connect even greater.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Blessings.
Blessings. Are we done now?
Yes, we are. Yes,
Very
we
well,
are.
then I will let someone else come through. It was very nice speaking to you. I hope I wasn't too long-winded.
No, you were wonderful. Thank you so very much.
Much love to you all. Uh-oh. Yes. I am Enoch.
Welcome, Enoch.
There are many here that want to come through to give their versions of reality, their versions of what is happening to your world. But let me tell you something, people of Earth. This is just a reference point for many things that are happening. Some are trying to sway you in your belief systems because they may seem good at one point, and they have hidden agendas on other points. So be very careful. You shouldn't be listening to people from outer space if you want to do something politically oriented. You shouldn't be listening to people out of space if you want to do something about things that are actually earthbound and thought processes that they know nothing about. They may say they do, but they do not. Out here is a lot of information, science, beautiful things. You can learn about science and theories, about life and cultures. You can learn about many, many spiritual aspects that are related to your planet and can be given to your world. But do not be deceived by those that want you to take up an agenda to change your world at this time, if it's not through science, if it's not through truth and honesty. And you must evaluate that yourself. I am here to give you some information about the fifth dimensional beings. That's incorrect. The multidimensional beings. You must understand, I have to weigh my words very carefully. But this is a time of great turmoil for your world. And I do not like to see that. But it is a time when you must take sides against evil. You must unify yourself against the negativity. You must unify yourselves to become one peoples in the whole of the earth. There is derision and division and negativity. You must learn to love one another as a world. You will not survive otherwise. Your world is in lockdown. And some of you say, oh, that lockdown is control from the cabal. That lockdown is negativity trying to make us do their will. But then there's another side. There's a side that is working toward your safety and well-being. There's a side that is actually well-intentioned. And no one can see the difference. If you're on one side, you're on one side. If you're on the other, you're on the other. And they clash. And one side says, this is not true. And the other side says, yes, it is. And so even there is division. Even in the midst of sickness, no one knows what to believe. Even in the midst of derision and falsehoods about every bit of information that comes out, who knows what is true? I am here on behalf of the universe, saying that we want your species to survive. And so as an ununified world, there's not a chance. Oh, you say, that's very negative. That's very wrong for you to say. No, it's the truth. It's simple. You stay divided, you will pull yourselves apart and destroy each other. That's the truth. And if you cannot see that, perhaps you need to look at each other in a different way. That person that believes differently than you is not your enemy. They are just another person that believes differently than you. They are just another person trying to find the truth. No matter how you feel twisted they are or how twisted they think you are, they're just another person in the world that need to be unified together with the rest of the world. Because God is here for everyone, not just who you believe is right. God is here for everyone, not just for who you fight for. God is here for everyone, and he loves you all. It's time for you to start loving one another. The anger that has been brought through in every part of the world at this point, I'm not just talking about one part of the world. I'm talking about the entire globe. The anger, the mistrust, the disbeliefs, the anguish from the entire world is being seen, and it must be healed. Are you a healer or are you a divider? This is a question that must be asked, because as you make a choice and bring people into your decision, are you unifying or are you dividing? Are you unifying or are you dividing? Are you coming closer and closer to understanding the other side? Or are you getting farther and farther apart? Are you calling names and using character judgments on people? Or are you trying to avoid that? Or are you trying to unify your thought process? Because that is the only way to the true path of God. Yes, I know Elijah was here, probably had enough of spirituality for today, but I'm a different perspective on things.
It's a beautiful perspective, Enoch. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. We do have some
Now,
questions if you're open to that.
now, I'm more open to questions than Elijah is. I know that he doesn't like that, but I do.
Okay, well, get ready. We have a lot. So Kathy has the first question. Go ahead, Kathy.
Thank you, Enoch. I am over the moon that you came to speak with us today, so thank you. Going with what you were saying before I ask my own question, if we're supposed to stay in the light and keep our vibration high, which I know everyone here tries really hard to do, but then we have, with all the situations that are going on in the world, we have things that are going to upset us that we disagree with. And there are some of us that feel the need to, whether it be a protest or calling their local MP or whatever it is, they feel that they need to act out on this because not everybody can just sit back and be in light and love all the time. What do we say to that? Like, where's the balance where we want to stay in light and love, but we also don't want to be walked all over?
All right, the difference is this. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why? That is a question you must ask yourself. Is it because of hate and anger, or is it because of injustice? Is it because of something that is necessary to stand up and fight for? If that is the case, then you must stand up for it. But there are many that are standing up only for themselves, only for what they believe is their only right way to believe. They are not standing up for justice. They're standing up for, I'm not sure what. What are you standing for? Are you standing for justice? Are you standing for truth? Are you standing with love? Because if you are, then there will be no fighting. There will be no violence. There will be nothing like that happening. Not with you internally or with you outwardly. You will be standing in love, in peace, in harmony, but standing for what you believe, which is what God wants. If you are part of something like this, is it that you are dividing or are you trying to unify? Do you want unity? There is a question. Unity is what you must be headed for. Do you want the world unified? Or are you part of the division? There is your question. There is your answer. Yes, you can stand up, be counted for justice sake, for beauties, for love. But if you're just there because you're angry, if you're just there because you don't like the other guy, if you're just there because you believe all kinds of radical belief systems and are not sure what's really true, then you shouldn't be there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. How do you mention that we shouldn't be going to the other entities and other realms for certain things and advice? What should we be calling on the angelic realms for? What can we ask for?
Good. Oh, you can call on the angelic realm for anything, because
Okay.
if they come through, they will not be the kind of individuals that will try to sway you toward any decisions. They will be giving you light, love, understanding, and healing. They will not be talking about things they shouldn't.
Okay, so it was just the extraterrestrials and those types of energies you were speaking of.
Occasionally they do, yes.
Okay.
But that is all right. You can listen to them if you wish. But I do believe that some of them are misguided.
Okay.
I have listened. Go ahead.
No, go, please.
I am from interdimensional space. So therefore, I am from interdimensional thought process, and I do not believe in standing up for one thing only, because all sides have merit of some sort. You must understand that. All sides have merit. somewhere. You must find it. If you are standing on merit for that side, then you must stand for it. You must know that you are correct in standing for what you believe. But there are many that just stand because someone said so. And they are uneducated, they know nothing about the situation, they just believe because someone said so. They did no research, they did no understanding of the situation, and yet they are firm in their belief because someone told them so. That is a belief that is dangerous.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So you mentioned you're from an interdimensional thought process. That was my question for calling you today. When you walked the earth long ago, were you a human or were you in an alien form?
I was human, I looked human, I was in a human setting, so therefore I wanted to be part of that, because I don't think that there was a time when non-humans could walk the earth and it was very acceptable and people would just accept it. You're from another part of the world, and they must look different there. So I did not want that because I was with my people and I was brought up within that group, and I did travel, but not, I wanted to be a part of my home country and everything. So I was born into it.
So by living 365 years, did you take part in initiate practices to keep the body youthful?
Well, I was an alien born human. So I did look human, but there were things about me that were not human. That's true.
Okay, so that's why you could live so much longer than everyone else.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The body
Thank you
did
for
not
coming.
deteriorate the same way. Of course, I had ways of revitalizing it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, David has a question. Go ahead, David.
Hi, Enoch.
Hello.
So I'm interested in maybe having a little more clarity and understanding for me and others. A lot of people, I've got a friend that has a relative works in emergency, and there's a lot of people that are experiencing so many different things right now. And I've been experiencing many different things with the physical sensations. Like today, I feel jittery and sick to the stomach. And is this mostly because of the energies, and how do you decipher the difference between when something is like staying out of fear, like because of these things? It's some information to help people understand this a little better, and myself.
Every person is different, and every person will go through different things with the earth energies. Like they will go through depression or fatigue or nervousness or whatever. How long have you been feeling these symptoms? Because if they go on and on, they are different. They can be earth energy problems, but you should be starting to get used to a little bit some of these earth interactions now, because the grand solar minimum is very disruptive to the earth and causes the energies of the earth to be very, very strong and very different. So you may be experiencing some of those things, but if it lasts forever and ever and keeps going on, you should get a checkup and you should find out what's going on with you.
Yeah, it fluctuates. Some days are fine, and then other days it's like, is it my thoughts, or what is going on?
Yes.
Really strong.
So you have to understand, I'm seeing that you're okay. There are many things that affect you. So as you are being affected by many different things, you must keep in mind what normal is. Picture what you believe to be normal. Ari, have you ever felt normal?
Yes.
Good. Keep that in mind, and
it's been a few
force
years.
yourself to know when that time is and enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, it's been going on over a month or two with all these.
Yes, that's when the grand solar minimum actually kicked in to a very, very high degree, I believe. Isn't that so? The
Okay.
grand solar minimum,
Yes.
it kicked in this summer.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much love.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, there was one more second. I just have to get where I was. Jay Lo had a question. Go ahead, Jay.
J-Lo.
Enoch, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for your insightful and positive perspectives. I guess the first thing would be direction and perplexities of life on Earth. I'm curious about you specifically, since you're here right now as a guest. How did you, I don't want to say manage, but how did you process those emotions if you ever felt them when you were on Earth?
Oh, I did.
Your thought process, I feel like you must have experienced that.
There was a lot of disruption when I was on Earth. It was a time when you're in modern times. You have it easy here. Of course, the emotions here are just as mixed and diverse as they were back then. But back then, there was many black and white beliefs and many magics and many different kinds of negativities that I had to deal with because people were very afraid of the darkness, and so they created more darkness for themselves than ever before. And yes, I had to deal with the emotions of the people, the fears of the people, the anger of the people, the belief system that was happening. And I tried to point them back to a very positive source, which was God, of course. But remember this, emotions were very similar than in fact, they are very, very much the same as they were back then. They're just directed differently because of the way life was back then. It was much more difficult. The work was much harder. The life expectancy much shorter for most cases, and it was just a very, very hard time for the people, and they were felt like their life was so short and they got to do nothing but work. And so I was dealing with those kinds of emotions. Of course, they had children and they would bring their children up, and it was a harsh time. It was a very harsh time, and they turned their back on God because of this harshness. And that's why I was there. God had put me there, and I had volunteered to go there to help them out. So now, the complexities of your society are just as dire. You have a lot more complexities. Your life isn't as hard work-wise, but it is harder emotionally. They only had to deal with each other in their family, in their work situation, which was not, it was much more simple. In your workforce, in your society, in the way that your world is made up, there's many more concerns about being taken over by cybernetics. There's things about, is this ray going to harm me? Is this going to be good for me? Foods are being what is the word? Messed up, and there are many different things that your people have to worry about that they didn't have to worry about. It was much more pure. So, and this society is much more convoluted. So you have many more thought processes to deal with, and that brings your emotions into many different areas of thought. So you have to deal with things one at a time. You can't deal with things all at once. Many people try to deal with things all at once, and it does not work. You cannot deal with the family, the work, this, and this, all at once, and make it work. It's somewhere it's going to fall apart. You have to be able to have clear thoughts about each thing that you're working with. And that is what is happening in this society that you live in, is all the thoughts are all over the place, and you have too many things to do. You have too many responsibilities and too many directions you are turning to keep your life in the line, and it's going to fall apart. You know it. If you don't keep it in all, if you don't keep all the balls in the air, if to cite a saying from your world, which means juggle everything properly, it's going to fall apart. And how often can someone juggle forever? It's impossible.
I resonate with that because it happened to me most recently. Balance.
Yes.
And Enoch, I had a dream, and just to keep it very brief, I'm not sure what your stance is on interpreting dreams, but most recently I saw a snake in my dream, and the best way I could describe it is that it had a total of 5 heads. 2 were connected and then separated from the other 3. Perfect. I said it exactly how I saw it. And do you think you could interpret that for me? I was very happy about seeing it, by the way.
Yes. The snake represented 5 different countries. And those 5 different countries, 2 of them have split off to formulate a different thought process than the other 3. But they are all part of one supposed thought process, and one part of a something that should be united. They should not be separated in any way, shape, or form, but they should be united. But it's like the body fighting against itself. These 5 different nations are all in alliance, but they are not in alliance. And you will see the answer to that in the near future.
Excellent, thank you. And lastly, today I went for a jog in the morning, and there were 3 instances from the jog until I came back home that I saw Mary, or Mother Mary, as some call her. So I thought about it myself, and I felt, well, she is close. She is paying attention. Is there anything you could share with me in regards to that? And thank you so much.
Yes, Mary is close to the earth right now. Mary has been part of many different dreams, many different visions, and many people are feeling her close to them at this time. She is visiting and putting aspects of herself around this earth because she is a gentle, loving mother. And many people need that gentle, loving spirit at this time. This is a very a world of great upheaval at this time, and it's not going to get better, unfortunately, for a while. But she is here to calm, to love, to understand, just as many of the other gods that are in many of the other religions are being seen by many people right now. The Hindus are seeing Krishna and Shiva and Ganesh, and they are comforting and they are strengthening them. Others are seeing Jesus and Mary, and they are being strengthened there. Some are seeing Francis of Assisi. Some are seeing Padre Pio. Some are seeing the gods from their own lands, because this is a time that your belief systems must be working for you, and that they are coming to calm your spirit and to guide you and direct you in these days, because it's going to be very difficult.
Enoch, thank you so much. And I just want to say something. I was thinking as you were speaking, and I naturally gravitate toward a reality that I feel is different. And I would very much appreciate if you ever feel compelled to come through, as I would appreciate the guidance, since it's not that I feel lost. I used to feel lost, but now I'm just, I ask God every now and then, not why am I here, but it's very interesting, and I have no doubt that in the future things will also unfold. But I would appreciate you your wisdom. Thank you.
Of course. And let me say one more thing to you. I know why you feel that way. I know that you are conflicted because it seems so far away. Everything to everyone seems very far away right now. The end of your mission, the beginning to your mission, the idea that it is even possible what you thought to be true could possibly happen. There are many in this category. There are many feeling that what's the use? What's going to happen is going to happen, and it's not going to include me. But that is not the truth. The truth is that that's what they want you to believe. The truth is that your energy, that your light, that your understanding, your example, your wisdom from God will make a difference in this world. It has to. It has to. It has to.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. There is a question from, two more questions, then we'll go to the YouTube. But there's a question from Veritas that says, is the law of one observed throughout the universe?
Yes. But you remember, keep this in mind. It is observed by everyone in the universe in different ways. It is still the law of one, but it may not look the same. It may not feel the same because of people's belief systems and how they act about it. But it is still the law of one, and it still has the meaning of the law of one.
Sorry, I have a problem on muting. Sorry for that. Okay, thank you for that. There's one more question from Aglia. I can't say your name. I want to say it so badly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I am saying it badly.
Is it Aglaya?
Aglaya, yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. My question is, my heart really goes out to humanity and to the earth, as is from everyone here. And I would like to ask, is there a particular decree, a particular invocation or prayer that I could, or we as a group, go towards? Or like have on a daily basis, so that we can invoke the peace and the awakening and all of that.
Yes. Dear God, unify us, bring us into your will, for your will be done. And we want your peace, your understanding, your compassion, and your truth to rule this realm. Amen.
Thank you so much. I hope we got that in recording. And then the other one was if we can receive a healing for whoever would like a healing, would you be able to send a healing?
Healing goes out to all who want it. They just need to accept it and know that God is there to give it. I know that healing is in your air now. You will even feel it at this moment. If you need healing, accept it. Bring it to you. Know that God loves you and know that healing is part of who he is. Many people just bring God in and do not bring his healing energy. They don't accept it or acknowledge it. It's there for the taking. Bring him into you and accept that healing energy as your own.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You can feel it, can't you?
Oh, yes, I can. I felt all the energy going through. I'm deeply grateful.
Absolutely. I know that you felt it. I felt that jolt there a little bit.
Yeah. Deeply grateful.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Don has some questions from YouTube. Go ahead, Don. Just go through your questions and we'll come back.
Okay, thank you, Karen.
Okay.
And thank you, Enoch.
Yes.
Okay, okay, I had a few questions actually. This is from Joseph Bannigan. I am properly hydrated right now. He says I'm on very dehydrating medication. And can you explain a little bit about what's going on in me? Thank you.
Yes. I see the situation. It's more scientifically explained than what I can do. But the thing is about what you are going through is to keep, they believe that this will keep you safe with yourself. Now, I'm not sure of all the situation and circumstances, but I can see that this proper hydration is the way to go, and that I want you to feel a great deal of well-being at this time, because you are not one that feels comfortable in your own body sometimes. I'm not sure what that means, but it is what they're telling me. So I want you to have healing as well. And what's going on inside of you is chemical. But what I want from you is, or to give to you, is spiritual. And I want that to resonate with you, because it is something that will help you, and it will balance you, it will ground you, it will bring you a little bit more normalcy than what you have now.
Thank you. Okay, this next question is from Laura Kurt, and she's asking, she says, the Australian Aborigines are planning a great meditation on the 21st of December to activate our consciousness. Is this correct? Thank you.
It is correct. I feel that to be correct. I will check with others, but I feel the sensation of it that on the solstice they will be doing something special. The reason for this is because they see the change in the world. They see, and they call people, what is the word they use? Misfits, or they're something that means that the human race is not right. The human race has been tampered with in some way. So they are trying to bring a greater peace to the earth through this thought process. They are telepathic. They are a great deal stronger because they're pure. They may not have a lot of technology, but what they have is purity. What they have is the innocence and the power of it. And that brings them a great energy that no other species on Earth has. And they will use it in a very positive way. Absolutely amazingly positive.
Thank you. Okay, this next question is from Christy Trowbridge. I have a question and I'm not sure who can answer. Back in 2005, a channel named Akashe, AKOSHAE, came to me and told me of the events that are happening now. Over the years, he kept telling me to move forward and wake the world. Now he has moved on to help others, and Akasha has come to channel with me. Can you help me understand this, please?
It's easy. It was your time to let the people know what he was trying to tell you. He saw that you were connected to the people that would believe this, and that you could come into connection with the people that would help this. Now, he has moved on to do other things, to bring other thought processes in line. But do not be upset about that. You have done what you are meant to do. Your energy has gone out the way it is supposed to have gone out, and these things have been done. And now you are with Natasha. there is a different message coming through in that realm at this time. Remember that you are connected with certain people, certain powers, certain energies that no one else may be connected to, and that this is their way of bringing it through to the earth.
Okay, thank you. And I have a last question here from Carol Lorty. Her question is, we are in a small box in a big box program surrounded by AI and archons. How are we supposed to burst out of it? How can we ascend to 5D and enter a new box program?
All right, first of all, you must align with positive energy, with God, with all the things that are in a positive realm. Remember that these AIs, these archons, these things, they're of an energy that can be discombobulated rather easily. You give them too much power, you give them too much energy. Let them go. Yes, change your box. Let God come in and help you to get rid of it. Take the fear out of it. Take the challenge out of it, because light overcomes darkness. And you're going, oh, but we're constantly being bombarded. Yes, because you believe that they are powerful. You believe that they can do the things they say they can do, and they will do it until you deny them the access, deny them the power, deny them the negativity to you. I know they will still try to attack. I know that they will still get through occasionally, but God is more powerful. The positive light, the beauty of all the things that are happening with light and love. And like she said, it can't be all light and love all the time. But let me tell you this. I'm going to have a group. This group here is going to start praying for you right now, because you need to break out of that box. You need to get out of there. Everyone here, pray for that box to be broken. Pray for that negativity to be destroyed, in the sense that it goes back to the energy from whence it came. And not, I don't say kill it, but it is destroyed from being with you. So then bring the light, bring that light to you. Have that light come to you. Bring it, because that is what you need to get out of that box. That is what you need to start growing again. You are surrounded by failure, because these beings, these thought processes are there to destroy you, because you do have something to share with the world. You do have something of a positive nature to share with the world.
Thank you. Karen?
Yep. Okay, perfect. All right, Sue has the next question. Go ahead, Sue. Let me make sure I don't have to unmute her. One moment. Sue, she's not here. Are you there? Okay, you're muted. Let me see. Let me if I can unmute.
Oh, here, it's my own headset. Sorry.
Okay, good. All right, go.
All right. Thank you for being here, Enoch. I know I'm a fractal of Metatron, and could you perhaps talk about your connection with Metatron and my connection, if I have a connection with you, and how you're connected to Metatron, or if I've had a connection to your earthly life as Enoch?
Metatron has had a very difficult existence, but now it's back. It's coming back to a more normal existence. And yes, he is a multidimensional being also. He is in the angel realm, but he is more than just an angel. He has multidimensional aspects to him as well. So yes, you do have a fractal of him. You do feel that multidimensionality that is he. And I want to let you know that there are some things that you will experience because of that. He will be coming to you in a different way to talk to you about the process of enlightenment with your realm, the people in your realm there, because that process is a little different. because it's a little more difficult. But you are a bright light. You are someone that is going to lead the way for something. I'm not sure what, but you're the leader for something. You're muted.
So you're muted again, hon.
Oh, sorry. Now, did I have any connection with you when you walked the earth as Enoch?
I am a different Enoch than I did walk the earth. That was one of my personas. I haven't, you were with me then, and I'm trying to deal with integrating with all my personas.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for this information. It's
You're
wonderful.
welcome. Yes, you were there.
Okay. Was that it, Sue? Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, can you explain how I was there or what type
Your
of
name was Rebecca. Not Rebecca, but Rebecca.
Rebecca?
And you were someone close to me family-wise. At first, you shunned what I had to say, but then you realized the power of God and became part of it and was very helpful in the ministry.
Okay, wonderful. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes? Oh.
Did you have a question, Will, or no?
No, I was yawning.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought I heard something.
Okay. All right. Well, Enoch, we've reached the end of our questions for you.
Excellent.
But it's
I
been
will go
amazing
then.
to speak with you. Thank you, and you're always welcome. So please drop by unexpected whenever you want.
Yes, there's many things to tell many people, but just be with God, know He is true, and that He will not forsake you, ever.
Perfect.
Greetings. I am Tienza.
Greeting, Tienza.
I am an Elia Shandai Zendi reptile, or reptilian. I've come to say that we are concerned about your world and how things are happening, and we pray for you daily. Our peoples are trying to communicate with your governments, but are unable to at this point. They did speak to us a couple years ago, but since the coronavirus, few communications have been given to anyone outside of your realm. We need to be aware of your concerns and needs so that we may pray for them properly. From what we can see, there is a great deal of hostility happening. It is not what we would want for your people. It is difficult to discern your place in the universe at this time. we see what the prophecies or predictions say, but it doesn't seem to be holding up in some other ways. So we need some of you to send us communications and send communications through to other places so that we may know when it is safe to send information to your governments. I know that this may seem political, but it is not. We are just wanting to communicate. We are just needing some information so we know how to act. We are not violent. We do not wish any violence upon you. But when I say act, I mean, should we pursue a relationship or should we go back home? Many are wondering the same. It is a crucial time. Your world is closed to many things. What are we to believe? That is why we came through today, is to ask, what should we do? Anyone may answer. We will take all considerations.
Thank you so very much. And can you please state your name one more time?
Tienza.
Tienza. Well, Tienza, thank you for sharing that offer and that invitation to work with you. If there's anyone from our governments listening, then they will definitely need to respond to you. I have to tell you, however, there is no one here that can give that approval, as you're probably well aware. But is there anything we as individual humans can do to work with you, perhaps indirectly or directly? Maybe that's
we realize that this particular communication is picked up by the governments. And so we decided to come through here so that they might be aware of our situation.
Thank you for that. Okay, well, we will trust that those who need to hear are listening. So we do have some questions from the people that are here. Would you be willing to?
What is exactly you asking for?
Cat.
Tienza, what is exactly?
Cat.
Yes.
Please don't interrupt.
Yeah, but he said we can vote.
I know,
like
but I call on the
word.
people when it's time for them to have the question. So we have a list of people. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We have a question first from J-Lo. Kat, will come back to you.
Tienza, I'm not sure if we spoke before. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we have spoken.
Excellent. Well, my passion, something I feel very inspired to do since I was many years ago, actually, is to be an alien ambassador. And for me, that means multiple things. I feel it's very enriching. It can be a very expansive experience on many, many levels. And I would encourage you to reach out to the people who feel passionate from their hearts, from a very genuine place within them, so to speak, to have experiences with them. Of course, taking into consideration precautions, anything you feel is appropriate, etc. For me, at least, I can share with the public and with you is that I feel inspired to share my experiences with others. Whether they are open or not is a different story, but I'm not expecting anyone to believe me. But I feel that because that energy, that inspiration is so positive, it will definitely reach out to others. And this just happens to be something that's very natural to me. I feel very compelled to reach out to you and physical, non-physical beings, creation itself. So thank you for stopping by, for coming here and sharing your perspective. I have no doubt that you must feel frustrated, as I
It
do as
is
well.
frustrating.
Yes.
We are looking and found an ambassador for our people on your world. More than one. We looked at you, but your reptilian DNA was very small. We have chosen someone with a higher reptilian DNA count, only because if we have to take them to our world, they will have to take on a reptilian persona.
That is understandable, and I will pray for those people that you do contact, because
Thank you.
there is a bigger picture and a greater good that can come about from these interactions. So thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. You are
Right.
welcome.
Thank you. Kat, if you have your question, you can go ahead.
Yes, I have a question, and I like very much your attitude, Tienza. And I want them to hear these government ears. I think we need an intervention because it seems that they don't wanna let go of their own whatever they're trying to do, and in my opinion, continuing this way, I don't see. I see them doing more evil and more hurting on people and more controlling than awakening through these methods. So, my opinion, this is really firm. They should be removed, even out of the planet.
That
They
is
should
not
be.
our decision to do. We are just hoping for communication. We understand that there is a protocol being written or being discussed, at least, for first contact throughout the world. However, this has happened many times and not come to fruition. We are now hoping that this time they are more serious. Still, even with that, they are not communicating with us. And we need to help them write this protocol. It is something that they are lacking in understanding on how to do.
Okay. Anyway, I hope they heard what
Thank
you have to say and I had to say.
We appreciate your standpoint. We appreciate your welcoming us. And we thank you for that.
Yeah, I would like to say something else, but I want to keep this in secret. And when the time is coming, they're going to see something coming also.
Yes, governments are listening to these different challenging channelers because although they say they are not believing anything that they say, why are they monitoring them and keeping the information top priority as they decipher binumeral communications from us?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a suggestion. We do have work with Gurfik Near, and perhaps you would want to connect with the being Takur and go via because they are in contact with the government. So
Only when the government meetings happen. Other than that, all government communications are shut down. We have spoken with the one Takur and League of Light and Ashtar Command and several others, Council of Nine, Arcturian Council. They all say the same. They will see them on their terms, but not communicate any other time.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a big challenge. Okay. There's a question from the woman whose name I'm going to say, Aglaya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did I do it?
Yes, you did it. Yes, you did it. You can just call me.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. The question is, so when we decree as light workers, or when we invoke your presence to come forth and be an assistance to the planet, is that not good enough? Can you not come through?
We come through like this, through channels, through technology to the peoples. But that does not mean that we are communicating with the government.
I see. So your primary intent is to communicate with the government for the disclosure, for first contact.
For many things, disclosure is one. We have many things we can help your world with, but they refuse to even speak to us. And we are only here out of friendship.
Yes, we are grateful for your friendship. That I can speak for myself, for the light workers. I'm sure there are many that feel the same. Thank you. I have no more questions. Thank you.
Thank
There
you
are
so much.
many trying to contact me at this time.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to skip down to Ian and then to Sultan, as we only have 10 minutes left, and they haven't asked a question yet. So Ian, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes.
You kind of answered my question a little bit, and that was, my question was going to be, are you working with the Galactic Council that works with the government, or are you working independently within your own species to work directly with the government? And if that is the case, why are you working independently as opposed to the collective?
We are going to your meetings that are noted as galactic or intergalactic meetings with your governments. But we are working independently also, because we are a species that is different in our thought process than many other species. We want them to recognize our true nature. At these meetings, we cannot get through our true nature, our true understanding to them, our true methodology of thought process, and the things that concern us.
Okay, so it sounds like by participating in these galactic or intergalactic council meetings, your voice is not being heard, and you're wanting to have your own platform to be able to convey your message independently and without any interference.
I do not think any platform is actually being heard there.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the answer.
You are welcome.
Okay, there's a question from Sultan. Sultan, can you unmute?
Yes, hello.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to ask about climate change. How can we work as a light worker and thought processor to work in the climate change as a wildfire, to stop wildfire, because we have a big challenge coming in a few years?
It is difficult to stop a wildfire when we are not allowed to participate in helping with that. But it's also difficult to stop a wildfire that your own people start. There have been seemingly rays, lasers, starting some of these fires at the beginning. Now that they have got things raging, they are not able to control it. We could put it out in a matter of seconds, but it is not for us to do. We are not permitted to do any interference. And if we did, it would be very obvious.
So that's why you're looking for government to talk with them?
We would like to talk to your government about working together. There are things that we need as well. It is not that we are totally unselfish, but your governments do not even wish to communicate. This would make it hard for them to understand our position and our needs as well. It is not that we are against your people ever at any time, but trade would be good.
Okay, thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have one more question from Cher. Good, Cher.
Greetings. I will try to be concise. To your question, how to get the government attention, there is a loophole called SO marriages. I'm pretty sure that you are aware of. If you have someone of station of royalty that could take a human being in SO marriages, that will get you a seat at the table in another different kind of settings, and you will have, well, to a degree, a say-so in what is going on, because they do listen to kings and queens. This is a concept that they understand, and you will have another setting that you could be visiting and say what you have to say. So this is my recommendation to you. And also, there's a saying, out of sight, out of mind. If I know that, I don't think that you're from our galaxy, but if you can have a couple of spaceships, or at least one, around Earth in a safe distance, something that doesn't seem frightful, then they will see your presence and they will know that you are serious about making content. So those are the main two things that I can tell you right now, because I think there are others that want to speak.
We have been in orbit with at least one ship for 3.2 years. We have 3 other ships at 3 different points in the solar system. The Ganymede Station, X.2, and the Garoon Station out by Pluto. The one that is around your planet is a science vessel. We are looking at discovering how your planet works and the atmosphere and plant and animal life, but these tests are not going on as much as they were. Also, we do have someone from our species, not a king or a queen, but someone is married to a human in the astral. A king or a queen from our realm would not even consider marrying a human. I do not think. But I will have to assess that situation.
The higher the station, the more likely that you get a better seat in the table. This is from what I know. So, and also I would encourage any contact that you want to have with me. I know your species, I know that you have good reputation. And if there's something I can help you with astral or anyway, I would like to help.
Thank you. I appreciate your offer. I know who you are. Thank you. I will go now.
Actually, we have one more question. I do need to stop you. One question. Temple, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I am completely willing to meet with you and your group, maybe tonight in Astral, and learn more about your position, and we can maybe assess things. And if Cher wanted to come with, I would love it if he would join, but I'm sure we can talk about a lot of this, the situation going on, and see where we can go from there.
Interesting. I see traces of SSP.
Yeah, but I'm not in the SSP anymore.
Very well.
And
We will consider it.
I should, you can check my DNA too. I should have some of your DNA. I've had a lot of past experiences with you guys.
Excellent. We'll look into it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much.
You are welcome.
All right, I think we have reached the end of the questions.
I am going to leave.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for listening and participating with me.
Great.
Hello?
Hello, welcome back.
Thank you.
We're going to close with some blessings, and then we'll have Angie do the announcements. So why don't we start with Kathy was going to do a blessing.
You were going to do a blessing, right?
And Will's going to too, yes, but we're saving him for last. Because he's in the room with you. Yeah.
I can do one if needed.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Okay. Shakora dosa hasane do atuvi peru, shrosa dago farinojada, e shuti paro, ne doni toko e shoro do sheta maru, e suti pavo, e loro meshe parosheta taru senosho osho, makavitaho oshwari paroshwata, e varoshdashi, tuku urwane, le poritaki sharadi o imashi uta, e te karosha sharasia taku e marodo soroto.
May the love of God be with you, and let his light shine and bring peace to you and bring tranquility to the earth. Be of good example and be of good understanding, for he is with you and will follow you all places, if you only will call on him and hold him dear.
Thank you so much. Eva has a blessing. Go ahead, Eva. She's still here? One moment, sorry. I'm stuck in the chat. Eva? No, it seems that she's gone. Okay, David has a blessing. Go ahead, David.
Okay. Ya ro ma aku sun ja ra tia turo uma. Shela sena ni tura aneki shin sho atare. Ti mana kuku shana hatira hakuku mana ni tura hati heart to heart. Ku ma atira akuku shine iti ro ma akanshin. Shara aturo. Sha shikira atira ma kukuta.
Let the heart and the mind connect so that decision making is easier and more sufficient. Let all the things that are happening to you be a guide and a lesson. Remember, all things happen for a reason. There is a time and a place for all things. There are many messages to be heard and listened to, but the one that is most important is the message from God.
Thank you. Will be ending our blessings. I will come further, come closer.
Suhurahna tiarahna tsulti. Tuku urhasana hi atiatana hiarvaya. Shosho uhuku urhana sasi. Yayakatatitia Ranata Arusai. Takai Itana Arawasa Hatuta Tiara. Shoshoku Unana Hariya Sahawatituta. Shashaya Yakatati Nanara Tati. Huruna Ti Arhia Sakai. Turwa Nahasa. Awahaka Achisa. Shoshoyo Uruhukunana. Shashishia Nihira Kayata. Nihira Araskanahayaka. Namaste.
The time of obedience has come. It is now time to listen to God and to obey, to move forward in only that way that God will direct. It is time for you to listen. It is time for you to stop and take heed of what you are doing and do introspection and know yourself. It is time for the world to have a chance to survive. It is time for you to know that you are on the right path and not doubt yourself. It is time to know what you are doing and how you are doing it. This is the way of God. He will speak. You will learn. You will know. It is written, and it will be done.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Next week, we have Deb and Rick back with us, so we'll look forward to that. Please like and subscribe. And before we go, Angie, you have some announcements. Yes?
Yes. We have scheduled the channeling class. It is for Sunday, November 22nd, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's not just for learning channeling, it's enhancing your channeling, increasing it, helping you to become a better channeler. So if this is something that you're interested in, please send an email to classes@hucolo.org and we will get that information out to you. The cost for the class is $123. Learn or enhance your channeling as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. All right. So thank you, everyone. We had a really full room and we had a very nice full YouTube. So at one point we had over 33 people in the Zoom room, which is great.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. So that's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah. So next
And I
week
think
again.
Dawn said 70 YouTube at the same time.
Wow. That's over 100 right away.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Karen.